Hey everyone, here's a question on polygons and I got this question from comment section. The question is, a polygon has a 27 diagonals. How many sides does it have? So here we have given the number of diagonals to be at 27 and we have to find out how many sides are there in this polygon. So how to do this? So we're going to use a formula which is going to give us the number of diagonals in the given polygon. The formula is n into n minus 3 by 2. So you have to use this formula to get the answer. So we know that number of diagonals here are 27 and we also know the formula, that is number of diagonals is equal to number of diagonals for any given polygon will be n into n minus 3 by 2. And what is this n? N is actually a number of sides in given polygon. So suppose we have a triangle has a 4 sides. So if I put 4 here in place of n, I'll get the number of diagonals. It's 4 into 4 minus 3 by 2. So let me just show you here. So it will be like 4 into 4 minus 3 by 2. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So we'll get 4 into 1 by 2. You can cancel 2 and 4. 2 ones are 2 twos are. We got 2 as answer, which means there are 2 diagonals for the rectangle. Like that, we're going to use this formula to find out the number of diagonals. But here we already know how many diagonals are there. We have to find out how many sides are there, which means here in this we have to find out the value of n. And here I know number of diagonals, which is 27. So I'm going to substitute here. So I'm going to rewrite this as n into n minus 3 by 2, that is number of diagonals formula. And we know number of diagonals is 27. So this should be equal to 27. Right? So here what I have done nothing. I have just substituted in place of number of diagonals. I have written 27 and I have just interchanged the LHS and RHS. This was supposed to be a 27 is equal to n into n minus 3 by 2, but I have just rewritten it as I have just interchanged the LHS and RHS. I am doing it so that the equation when I am solving it will be easy. So I am just excluding one step and I am just rewriting in this way. That's it. Now I want the value of n. I'm going to solve this and get the value of n. So for that I'm going to multiply this 2 to the other side of the equation. 2 is in the division. When you transpose to the other side, it gets multiplied with 27. So here we'll get n into n minus 3. 27 times 2 is 54. Now open the brackets here. We'll get n square. N into n is n square minus n into 3 is 3n is equal to 54. Now you can see that I have n square. N square means there are 2 roots for this. Means there will be 2 numbers. There will be 2 values for this n because it's n square. Highest power is 2, which means there will be 2 values for n. And we're going to get the quadratic equation. We have to get the value of n. So I'm going to transpose this constant 54 to the other side of the equation so that I can get the quadratic equation and get the value of n. So this will be n square minus 3n minus 54 is equal to 0. Now how to solve this? So you have a direct formula. We substitute in the direct formula and get the value of n, or you can use splitting the middle term or any of the identities which you have learnt in your lower classes and apply this and get the value. So here I'm going to use splitting the middle term because I cannot use the first and second identity, that is a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square. I cannot apply. Why I cannot apply? Because 54 is not a perfect square. And that's why I cannot apply the first and second identity. I'm going to go for the splitting the middle term, where I'm going to rewrite this minus 3 in such a way that when I add or subtract depending upon the number, I should get minus 3, and when I multiply those 2 numbers, I should get minus 54. Now which 2 numbers you multiply to get 54, and when you add or subtract, you should get minus 3. We know that 9 6 is 54, right? So 9 times 6 is 54. So we can take 9 and 6 because 9 minus 6 is also 3 and we want 3 here. But this is a negative sign. We want minus 3 and minus 54. So here if I take both numbers minus, that is minus 9 and minus 6, in that case my answer will be positive because minus into minus is plus. But I want minus 54. So both numbers cannot be a negative. So one number is negative here. Now suppose 6 is negative, that is 9 into minus 6 is equal to minus 54. So this is okay. So when I add them or subtract them, suppose I'm adding them. So 9 plus minus 6, if I do it, I'll get the answer 3. and if I subtract it, 9 minus 6, I'll get 15. I don't want 15, I want 3, so this option, I cannot take this one. I cannot subtract them because subtracting is giving me some other number. So 9 plus minus 6 is giving me 3, but I want minus 3, which means if 9 is negative, then I'll get minus 3. If because the number, the greater number, whatever sign we have, that sign will get here, right? So 9 should be negative. So instead of minus 6, we'll take minus 9. So if I'll take minus 9 times 6, I'll get 54. And minus 9 plus 6 is also equal to minus 3. So minus 9 and 6 we're going to take. So I'm going to split this number. I'll get here n square minus this minus 3n. I'm going to write it in such a way that is like minus 9n plus 6n, and this minus 54 will remain same, is equal to 0. I am splitting the middle term. So we have split the middle term in such a way that we are getting minus 9 plus 6n. Now I am going to take a common factors. I am going to take a common from the first two terms and from the last two terms. So in the first two terms, if you see here, I have a n square and I have 9n. So n is common here. I can take n outside. And if I take one n outside from n square means there are two n's. I have taken one outside, which means another n will be left out here. So I'll get n minus from 9n I have taken n outside, which means 9 will be present here. So I'll get here 9. Then we have plus 6n, so I'm going to put plus sign here, and again I have to take a common from this 2. So there's only one n, I cannot take it. So I'm going to take here 6. So we're going to rewrite 54 as, so this 54 will be like 9 into 6, right? 9 6 is 54. So you can see that 6 is a factor here, factor of 54. So I can take 6 common here out. So I'll get 6, or let me just rewrite this as, so 6 will be outside, and I'll get here. So if a 6 is out from the third term, n will be left minus. So 54, I have taken 6 outside, which means 9 is left. So 9, I'll get it, is equal to 0. Now again you can see here that we have n minus 9. n minus 9 is common in this two terms. So I can take this term outside. So if I take this term outside, I'll get n minus 9 out. So from the first term, n is left. I'll get n. There's a plus sign here, put plus, and we have 6 here, is equal to 0. So it is equal to 0, which means that n minus 9 is equal to 0. So this is equal to 0, or n plus 6 is equal to 0. Any one of them is equal to 0, right? Or both can be equal to 0. And that is why I'm getting it is equal to 0. So which means, so let me rewrite this. So if this n minus 9 into n plus 6 is equal to 0, which implies that n minus 9 will be equal to 0, or n plus 6 will be equal to 0, or both can be 0. If n minus 9 is equal to 0, then we can transpose minus 9 to the other side. I'll get n is equal to 9. Yes, so I got n value is equal to 9. But I have another one. We have n plus 6 is equal to 0. If this is equal to 0, we're going to transpose 6 to the other side, it will get minus 6. So n is equal to minus 6. So we're getting n is equal to 9 and n is equal to minus 6. So where n is nothing but number of sides. Now can you think that a polygon can have a negative numbers? A polygon can have a negative number of sides? No, it has to be positive, which means that n cannot take a minus 6 value. So n will be equal to 9. If n is equal to 9, the polygon has a 9 sides, which means it will be a nonagon. So that's it. The number of sides will be 9. So therefore, number of sides will be equal to 9. So I hope this question is clear. In case you have question or doubt, you can drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching.